The real Illuminati agenda. The Luciferian Illuminati agenda is not just to create a world society controlled by fascism, communism, capitalism, socialism, and every other ism all rolled up into one. Their ultimate desire is for humanity to cling to this illusory 3D existence. We are naive children being hammered with a hefty dose of reverse psychology. By threatening to take away our rights, our physical health, our material wealth and our spiritual freedom, we react and scream bloody murder. No way can you do this to me. To us. We are full of indignation. We want to keep our health, our wealth, our comfort, our guns, and the freedom to move about at will. This is how we succumb to the great liar of the universe, and yet all the while we thought we were doing a good and godly thing. Not realizing for an illusory moment that our three-dimensional experience, which we call our life, is the great illusion, and the universe itself is completely non-existent. Consider this. Those exposing the Luciferian Illuminati agenda are Christians, Jews, other religious zealots, ex-CIA sex slaves, New Age spiritists, scientists and the like. I have yet to read information from any source that points directly at the real culprit in all this. The Luciferian mindset. They don't point the finger because they don't recognize the direct involvement of these thinking entities in manipulating the whole 3D agenda experience. If this were to be recognized and research was done into the dark mysteries of Babylon, the realization would soon point to themselves and their misled belief systems. However, I don't exclude myself, or anyone for that matter, from being used by the Luciferian mindset in perpetuating the 3D illusory trance state. Every three-dimensional form is meant to support and extend the lunatic notion that the 3D experience has some basis in reality. We are all enemies of reality, and because we go looking for the enemy in everything else other than ourselves, we will never find, on an individual basis, or conquer the real adversary that disconnects each one of our illusory 3D forms from reality. This side is concerned with the real culprit stirring the manipulative witch's brew. Furthermore, the solution for ridding ourselves of this culprit is also discussed. It is surprisingly simple how to bring this hideous hypnotic control to an end. However, because of the reverse psychology applied to our consciousness, the tricky part is realizing the simplicity of dissolving this demonic agenda. We want to keep the three-dimensional world experience intact. Therefore, we unwittingly keep the Luciferian Illuminati thought form alive. The Luciferian thought form is a room full of mirrors, reflecting the initial illusion countless times, until the immense vastness of the reflection overwhelms any sane individual from even beginning to question its existence or reality. Because of this, no one of sound mind even dares to cross over that fine line between reason and lunacy. However, the power of these mirrors reflecting their illusion also retains its own destruction. All it takes is for one mirror to crack, and they all reflect the crack in the same instance and the illusion is finished. The Illuminati, Moria conquering wind, the Olympians, it doesn't matter what moniker you give them, they are the elite royal bloodlines who orchestrate world affairs on behalf of the Luciferian thought process that conjured everything up initially. Yet even they pay homage to this Luciferian force so cunningly deceptive, that they are being manipulated as well. They do the bidding of this sinister mind without hesitation because they are the direct, emotionally connected offspring of this entity. They fulfill their duty to the Luciferian Lord through the academic and religious systems of corruption which they have created for the express purpose of destroying our connection with wisdom and with reality. The intellectual systems of the world are the thought process systems that indoctrinate our illusory 3D life forms into a state of extreme hypnotic trance control. The greater the intellectual knowledge acquired, the greater the degree of hypnosis, and the greater the degree of responding to the Luciferian mindset and its agenda for total control of reality. The monster called religion. First, we'll discuss the monster in the world named religion. Religion, wielding the twin weapons of guilt and fear, was the first strategy employed to manipulate the world. Did you ever wonder where religion came from? I don't mean, why do people turn to religion and worship gods? Sure, when things get tough, people feel a need to call on something to save them from their predicament. But where did the very concept and this need for religion originate? Why was there a predicament in the first place? Once this problem was introduced into the scheme of things, why was there a response from the people that they needed to be saved? And of course, once the population responded to the problem, Who came up with the notion of worshipping a god? In Psalm 14:1 we are told that the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, they have done abominable works, there is none that doeth good. Now if this is the word of God, and for that matter, if God were really a wise and great creator, I might be a tad shaken by these words. What follows may appear foolish, but to the open-minded, it may be a breath of fresh air. You see, this Bible quote was written by the Luciferian mind, the corrupt entity that rules the planet. There is no God, there is only the Luciferian mind of corruption that conjures up the 3D reality we are experiencing. In fact, the Bible and every religious book written is inspired by the corrupt entity that governs the Illuminati agenda. When I say every religious book, that includes every science text, every New Age bestseller, every book on esoteric magic, every astrological, numerological notion. Everything. We will consider the question, where did religion come from? I'm talking all religion, including atheism. Yes, even atheists are religious zealots. Even though I state there is no God, I am not an atheist inasmuch as I do recognize infinite awareness and wisdom do exist. This awareness and wisdom is not spirit, neither does it have any connection to learned knowledge. The worship of a creator, a supreme being who cares if I'm good or bad, and I better obey. I don't buy it. Everything that everyone does is the result of his or her particular religion. It doesn't matter the lifestyle we choose to lead, we were all duped into being religious dogs for the Luciferian mindset, constructed to imprison humanity's awareness. We all have been thrust into this religious system called the three-dimensional reality, and we exist in a hypnotic stupor, bewildered by it all. However, we don't need to exist this way. Quite simply, we don't need to buy it anymore. The whole 3D experience is symbolized in the short little word, buy. Buy is an accurate reference to the former World Trade Center. These two towers symbolize Boaz and Jachin or Gichin, the two pillars flanking the entrance to the old Hebrew temple. B for Boaz. J, G or Y for Jachin, Gichin, as there is no J or G or guttural sound in Hebrew. These two pillars together enunciate as buy or buy. This was the World Trade Center, the mighty symbol of commercialism in the world. The system of buying. Buying equals BUYI equals big I equals the all-seeing I. Adam and Eve, energy demons. Below are charts exposing the Luciferian egregore lie. We've been manipulated into believing we are merely our physical and emotional, spiritual body, responding to the stimulus of this three-dimensional realm. Everything within this 3D space is divided light and therefore is energy. Divided light is a rainbow. Everything physical is formed from this rainbow in some form or another. Everything, from the tiniest subatomic particle to the galaxies above, is made of bits of the rainbow. The rainbow canopy of light that surrounds our true awareness, has seduced us into accepting the illusion as the real deal. All energy is divided light, and is visible in the form of atoms. Some will argue that not all energy is visible. However, all energy is visible, regardless of the frequency, when a proper visual aid or frequency responder is utilized. In many instances, different segments of society are able to see things with the naked eye, that others are unable to witness. When awareness is seduced by a lying thought form, awareness focuses on the form, steps out of the moment and into this construct we call time and space. Energy is simply a thought that blocks out wisdom, and wisdom is the absence of energy. It is this energy thought form, the atom, that is the seducer, conjured by the Luciferian mindset. Divided light, the rainbow, the atom, the physical 3D space, is a lie, deception, illusion. Our original awareness state has no thought and therefore no energy. Wisdom is simply knowing through awareness. Our original eternal state has no three-dimensional form, no color, sound or shape.